So if you're running a pet business, you've probably played around with ChatGPT. But what if I told you that by only using ChatGPT, you're actually leaving a ton of time and money on the table? Today, we're going to dive into a much smarter AI strategy, one that goes way beyond the basics and can literally save you hours every single week.
Okay, check this out. While almost 70% of small business owners know about AI tools, only a tiny fraction, just 19%, are actually using them day to day. That's a huge gap, right? It's the difference between knowing AI exists and making it a real workhorse for your business.
And that really leads to the big question. If this tech is supposed to be such a game changer, why is almost nobody using it? Well, honestly, it usually boils down to friction, frustration, and trying to use the wrong tool for the job.
So let's start with a little reality check on ChatGPT. Look, it's an amazing tool, no doubt, but it has its limits. And if you've been using it for your business, I bet you've already started feeling that friction.
This right here is the heart of the issue. You got to think of ChatGPT as a generalist. It knows a little bit about a lot of things. But your pet business? It has specialist needs. You need it to do complex financial planning or analyze a really long client history without forgetting the details. And that's where a generalist just can't keep up.
Does any of this sound familiar? You feed it a long, detailed client file, and halfway through, it totally forgets who you're talking about. Or you ask for a financial breakdown, and you have to go back and double-check its math. Or worse, you're writing a detailed training plan, and it just makes something up, and now you have to waste time fact-checking it. See, this isn't a failure of the tool. It's just not what it was built for.
So, if one generalist tool isn't cutting it, what's the answer? Well, the answer is to build an AI specialist team. This is where we stop focusing on the problem and start talking about the solution, a multi-model strategy.
And the idea is actually super simple. You wouldn't ask your front desk person to do your corporate taxes, right? Of course not. You have different roles on your team because different jobs need different skills. Your AI should work the exact same way. You need the right specialist for the right job.
So, first up on our AI Dream Team is Claude, our strategist. Think of Claude as your brilliant operations manager. When you need to read a dog's entire medical history to create a complex rehab plan or write a super detailed, logical standard operating procedure, Claude is your guy. It's built for deep thinking and nuance.
Next up is GPT the Marketer. Now this is where GPT really shines. It's fantastic at speed and nailing that warm, friendly, conversational tone. This is the specialist you turn to when you need 20 fun Instagram captions, a persuasive email campaign, or awesome descriptions for your services.
Then we've got Gemini, our researcher. Gemini's superpower? It's plugged into the live internet. So you need to know what your local competitor is charging for puppy classes right now, or research the latest county regulations. Gemini gives you up-to-the-minute info, not data from 2 years ago.
And finally, meet Grok, our data analyst. Grok is the numbers nerd on the team. When you need to forecast your next quarter's revenue, figure out which of your services is actually the most profitable, or optimize your staff schedule to save money, Grok delivers those sharp, data-driven insights without making any math mistakes.
All right, so we've met our team of specialists. Now let's see how this dream team actually works together on a real-world task. This is where the magic happens. Let's say you're launching a new behavior modification package. Instead of fighting with one tool, you just deploy your team. First, Grok crunches your client data to find the revenue potential. Then, Claude takes that insight and builds out the entire, detailed 8-week curriculum. After that, GPT writes all the fun marketing copy to sell it, and finally, Gemini does a last-minute check on competitor prices to make sure you're positioned perfectly. See how smooth that is? And what does this all add up to? Well, by having each specialist do what it does best, you get a much better result in a fraction of the time. We're talking about getting the same complex task done in 60% less time compared to forcing one model to do it all. That is a massive, massive win.
Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. This sounds awesome, but managing 4 different AIs, that sounds like a full-time job in itself. And you know what? That's a totally fair point. So let's talk about how to make all of this easy.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to what another pet business owner just like you said. Going from a task taking half a day down to under an hour, that's the power we're talking about. This isn't some far-off dream, it's what's happening for businesses right now.
You really have 2 options. There's the manual way, on the left, juggling 4 different logins, constantly copying and pasting, trying to guess which model to use for which task. It's a headache. Or there's a much simpler way. One interface where you just say what you need and the system figures out the rest.
And this is exactly where a platform like PetBiz AI comes in. You can think of it as the project manager for your AI specialist team. It handles all that complicated stuff behind the scenes so you don't have to.
So here's how it makes your life so much easier. You get one single place to access all 4 of these powerful models. You just describe what you want to do, draft a marketing email for my new grooming package, and the platform automatically sends it to the best specialist for the job. It even has pre-built workflows for common pet business tasks, so all the guesswork is just gone.
And this is really the bottom line. Using a multi-model strategy isn't about having a bunch of fancy newfangled tools. It is a fundamental upgrade to your business operations designed to do one critical thing: give you back your most valuable resource, your time.
So if you're ready to stop wrestling with a generalist tool and see what a real specialist team can do, you should check this out. You can try this whole approach for yourself, completely free at petbizai.app. Seriously, stop spending your time managing tools and start getting your time back to grow your business.